What up, guys? Welcome back to another Never Broken Auto video. My name is Kelton. Welcome to the channel. If you guys have never been here before, I specialize in vinyl color changes, but I have this turbo Miata and another one that's on the side of the house, and I like to build them. Today, however, I'm gonna be working on this motor that I pulled yesterday, or in the last video if you guys watched it. If not, check it out up here. I'll put a link up here. I'm gonna pull this off this little stand, pull it out on the hoist, and give it a good wash. I gotta cover all these holes, things like that, sensors. But I'm gonna give it a good wash because it's pretty damn dirty, and this trans needs some help. And at the same time, I'm gonna pull this off, inspect the clutch, and then still haven't decided whether or not I'm going to rebuild this one or have to buy a new one. I'm gonna pull the trans, all the other stuff off, and then get to the oil pan and inspect the bearings. When I drained the oil, there wasn't a lot of material in it, and the drain bolt didn't have anything on it, so I honestly might have saved the motor just in time, before it actually blew up. So I might be able to just slap some rods in here, or rod bearings, my bad, and slap it back in. However, this motor was definitely swapped in because there is no VIN on it, so I don't think this is the original motor to the other car, but it's pretty damn dirty. It probably needs a whole reseal everywhere, but we'll find out when I pull it apart. It's kind of crazy. Cooper helped me out yesterday pulling this apart. It was pretty nice. Came out pretty easy. So I don't know. It's just cool that it's here. Fucking got another one to build besides this one. This one's being a little finicky here and there, but we're figuring it out. The tuning is just taking a bit. We're going back and forth with logs, revisions, things like that. I've been going full wide open throttle on it recently in third and fourth, and it rips. Even at 10 psi, it rips. But at full 100% throttle, it should be at 13 psi. 75% throttle is 10 psi, and it goes down based on throttle position. But at or past 4 grand, it kind of dude, I don't know. It pulls, but it sputters / misfires, pops. I don't know. I've been going back and forth with Adam Peets. He's a pretty reputable tuner, but it's just been back and forth of me doing some pulls, and it just does that sputtering kind of thing, and we can't figure it out. I don't know if there's a grounding issue somewhere or what, but I don't know. Maybe he's just not seeing something on his end that somebody else could see. So I just had somebody else double check it. I'm gonna see if it goes back, but if not, I will just continue. Either way, I'm gonna figure this thing out. It's working, it drives, and it needs spark plugs every now and then, but it's all right. But either way, this car is a fucking beast, and I'm gonna get the other one just the same way. I'm planning on doing a Frankenstein build on this. Depending on how this clutch looks, I'm probably gonna do a 1.6 flywheel and a 1.6 clutch. It's basically a poor man's lightweight setup. It'll be able to rev a little faster. They're the exact same shit. It's just the diameter, the outside diameter of everything is just a bit smaller. So if I can find a whole new setup, I'll just have to find a flywheel. I'm thinking about buying an ACT clutch for it. But we'll see. But that'll be the Frankenstein on the trans. And I don't know about up here. I don't think I'm gonna be changing anything. Just nice stock reseal. Might do a head gasket, but I'm just fucking talking. This is horrible. So bad. I'm gonna pull this thing apart. There we go. I'm setting you guys right here. I don't know where you'll be able to see, but I'm taking off these two 12s, or 3 12s for the starter. I don't know if you can see, but back here there's a nut, so you need a nut and a, I'd probably use an impact once it's out. It's a lot easier just down here. So damn. I don't know if it's, I don't even know what size that shit is, dude. Definitely not a fucking 12. Oh, while I do this too, I gotta do my traffic school at the same time. oh, gotta do some questions. All right, so I figured out it's 14 on the backside of this, but these are still 12, so I'm gonna zip the top bolts off. And honestly, I probably will replace this since it's here. It looks pretty freaking old. This thing's black as shit. Jesus. All right, well, that's out. We're gonna take off bell housing bolts. They're all 17s. There's 2 down there, 1 there, 2 up here, 1 on the other side. I think it's like 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna go for these lower ones first. I'm gonna plop this 17 back on there. I'm gonna go for this one. Oh, buddy, I gotta do a rear main. For sure. Come over to the other side, same thing, same thing. Oh shit, knocking boxes over. And this one's way down there. Ooh, alright, I'm gonna have to jack this bitch up. 1 sec. I'm gonna have to set you guys up again to do this, but I have the bell housing bolts out, or at least most of them. I have 2 in the top still, which are about to come out. This shit, stop pushing the fucking things. So I have this one and this one, and it's ready to pull out. I'm sure there might be a bit of oil, so let me grab some wraps. Alright, blast these 2 off and lay it directly onto here. Alright, train is unbolted. Let's see this mess. Might need a little bit of a pry here. Hold on. Just get your good old trusty dusty prier and be careful. Oh, it's coming off. She's out. Oh my lord. And there is, oh, my one of the bearings in here is, that's an issue. See that bearing? That is not aligned by any means. So something happened. Since I found that pilot bearing or whatever bearing that is freely spinning, I'm gonna check the oil filter right now and see if there's anything in it. Like, I'm gonna cut it open, check the actual filter and see if there's any shavings. I'll just set you guys up and watch. I like to use these in and outside of the car. They lock up really nice. You just like bend it and it locks it up and it'll come right off. These are usually like hand tight, so it should come off pretty easy. I need like a fucking phone mount or some shit, you know what I mean? I'm gonna order that for you guys just so angles are better. You guys can see shit like this while I work. Because I'm sure these angles aren't the best, especially for you guys. But there's probably not a lot of oil. But just make sure it drains out into the cup, not the ground. It is pretty black, but it doesn't look bad. The clutch and flywheel needs to come off next. I'm just gonna zip these off with the impact. Looks to be like a 14. So we got some burn marks on this pressure plate. See all this craziness? It's pretty crazy. And this should just fall right out.
Ooh, we got a lot more on this too.
Yep, we got a lot of heating.
I mean, you were clutch kicking the absolute piss out of it when
yeah.
it broke. And here we go.
Yeah, and that was just, probably have to hammer that back in there.
Probably has to go back in there.
Yeah, I'll keep it. But, I mean, the clutch itself don't look too bad. What is this? We should look this up and see if this is...
It's stock.
It's definitely aftermarket. South Africa. I've been there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull off the flywheel next. These big ass bolts. Hopefully they're not Loctited on or some shit, but...
I mean, that's aftermarket, so let's hope those won't fuck with too much.
Blasted them suckers off. Luckily they weren't fucking... Loctited. We also got the bearing out. Rear main's honestly not too bad. Don't look too bad. I wonder what the one in my turbo car looks like. But that does not look too bad. But we're gonna pull this trans. Oh, I gotta pull it off with the 10 mil right there. Say what's up, Nuggy. Nuggy, say what up to the
little guest.
We got the little guest. Her name's Nuggy. Oh. Right. Get this sucker out. 10 mil. Oop. Is brake? Nope. Alright. Definitely got to label just this single bolt. Transmission plate. Alright, well, I don't know what the last thing I filmed was, but we got it onto a stand. And now we're just going to start removing things. Nicely label it, put it in Ziploc bags, label it. I'm probably just gonna take off all the side accessories for now and at least leave it timed. Actually, I don't know. I gotta pull I might have to pull everything off. So, I mean, I just did this, so this will come off pretty easy. Let's just get tearing apart, dude. Fuck it. Exhaust manifold coming off. It's probably pretty caked on there. Gotta pull the EGR out. Might have to give her a few whacks with the hammer. Yeah. Is there another one? Where? Oh, yeah, we are. Alright, now we pull it off. Go ahead. Sheesh. Hey, I can sell that cat, bro. Well, never mind, I don't even have a cat. They fucking swapped that bitch out. But this one's off. Definitely replacing this gasket. She don't look too bad.
Take that. Might as well take those gaskets off. We'll plug those holes with some.
Alright, we're just yanking off hoses now. I'm gonna pull apart the front, get this intake manifold off, injector, all the stuff. She's pretty dirty inside, so we're definitely gonna clean this whole thing up and have a refreshed motor. It's gonna be pretty lit having a nice stock motor, fully refreshed. and pull off the alternator, the sides and stuff. Okay, we've just been attacking most of the front stuff. I've got all of this undone enough to the point where I can pull the oil pan off and look, inspect the bearings. I wonder, does that look like a lot of like metal in there? It's hard to tell since there's water mixed in, but.
Got a magnet?
I don't know. Next move is the oil pan. It's just a bunch of 10 mils and then a bunch of RTV. Gonna break these all loose and then pull her up. It's pretty late, we chilling though. We just having fun. Shop dog is tired. Shop dog usually is in bed by now. But we're just chilling. We're gonna get this thing fucking done. She's basically stripped. Fuck. Stuff that's in it. Flip it up, so flip it up more. Here, set that right here. Ooh. That's, huh? Ooh. It definitely blew up. All right, I definitely confirmed my car blew up. That is definitely bearing material all in the sump. You see how it kind of has like a gray pink like sparkliness to it. I don't know if you guys can see that, but like there, that little gray wispiness, and then obviously the chunks of metal. Yeah, this whole pan is covered in metal. Sheesh.
So we pulled the pan off, me and Luke, last night, and there's a good amount of shavings in there. But I'm gonna honestly just flip this motor over and take the head off. It's gonna make doing everything a lot easier. I'm gonna put a new head gasket in. I'm also going to do head studs. I just have them laying around, so might as well just throw them in. But I've checked all these, like they don't shake up and down. This is 2 and 3. Yeah, 2 and 3. Those seem pretty good. There's not really much movement, but there's a little lift in this bearing, but kind of hard to see. Can't really grab this one, but you know, I'll flip this over. I'll pull the head off, make sure it's not going to be contacting the valves at all, and then I will take off all this stuff in the front, water pump, oil pump, all the stuff, and we'll just keep going at it. It's basically about to be a full rebuild now at this point, but we won't know until we pull the caps off and look at them, but we will see. Pull off all the ignition stuff right now. All right, the next is just 10 mils all the way across. Loosen them evenly. You don't really need to pull it all the way out right away, so just crack it loose. Done. Those are all listed. I'm over here. And valve cover is gonna come right off. Gasket still looks brand new. It's pretty ripped, but still looks pretty fucking brand new. Hold on. It's good amount of metal up here. Definitely gonna get a new valve cover gasket. But I don't know. I think there's some metal shavings in here. I see a little bit of scoring here on this front exhaust cam. I see a little bit there on this back lobe. Damn. Oof, that was a piece of metal on the cam right there on my finger. Just from what I can see, there's a little marring there, unless that's, yeah, that's a little marring on that cam there. I definitely think there's been metal moved through the head. Idler intenders are off. I'm gonna pull the cam wheels or whatever, you know what I'm saying. That's all off and bagged. I'm gonna pull these off. I'm gonna use an impact, and the guard's at TDC right now. So are the cams. So I'm just gonna hold these where they are and blast it off with the impact. These should come off pretty easily, so just make sure you hold the cam, make sure it does not spin, and it can make the valve moves. They're 14, by the way. Next is this timing plate. Zip these off. I have a makeshift 10 mil in there, but they work. Just break those loose. Alright, so the head is ready to come off. You do it the exact opposite of the way you torque it, just in stages. So I'll put that up on the screen, and then you just do that. I'm gonna remove this and get a space cleaned up for it on the table. I'm gonna put some of these parts in boxes and stuff, and yeah, we're gonna get it going. Hopefully you guys can see this. Dude, that does not sound good at all. Alright, that was the first sequence of loosening. I'm gonna go through it one more time and then probably another before this is off. So I'm gonna do this shit and have all the bolts out right about. Hip bolts are out. I just like to use a little pick to pick up the washers as I pick up the head bolt. But it's also, I don't know if I specified, but the head bolts are 12 mil, 12 points bolt. You just want to break them loose, 3 stages. Again, I'll put the untorquing sequence here. But the head is now ready to come off, so I'm gonna pull this up and out and set it down over here. Oh shit, there's a sensor connected. Hold on.
Another fucking hose. Make sure you have everything fucking removed before you pull the head off. Jesus. Okay. Cylinder 4 had a little bit of something going on. Some rocks or some shit right there. It's probably just stuff that fell in, but cylinder 4 looks like a little wet back here. Even like up in here on the valves, near the spark plug, things like that look kind of wet. Everything else looks pretty dry. Cylinder 4 might have been the one that went out. But this gasket is fucking pretty toasted. It's like, it's on there. Jeez. Pretty toasty. These are 14s or 12s. Boom. I'm just gonna leave this on because this is all sealed. No need to do it more. Budget build. Basically at this point, I just have to check the rod bearings and see what damage they did. I don't necessarily know how to go about checking them right now. I know I obviously have to pull them out, but I don't know how I need to check for new ones. I have a plastic gauge, but I've never done like a stock rebuild before, so we will have to see what clearances I need for the bearings. So I'm just gonna pull apart this stuff, like this intake manifold. I already got the throttle body off. And I'm gonna clean the fuck out of this stuff inside because that is just straight to years of sludge. So I'm gonna clean all this stuff out. I have a parts washer handy and I'm gonna clean it all. This thing is pretty damn dirty. So I'm gonna clean all this stuff, clean the throttle body. I'm probably gonna get the head hot tanked just to clean all of this inside. And then that'll probably be good. I think the head is fine. So I'll have it inspected and cleaned. Block though, again, like I said, I just still gotta check the rod bearings. So I'm gonna flip this over and see if I can inspect those. And yeah, then I'll make a decision on what I need to do. But definitely gotta get this thing cleaned real quick. So it's all flipped over. With the rod bearings, I currently have 2 and 3 up. But I'm gonna break these cam caps open. I think it's like a, I don't know, looks like a 16. It might be a 14. 14 mil. I'm gonna go for number 3 first. Hold on, let's put this up against that. All right, that one's loose. That one's loose as well. All right, I just pulled a number 3 cap, and that looks, I mean, it looks like it's got a good amount of marring on it. The bearing, there's definitely some excess metal floating right there. So this is number 3. All right, this is, again, number 3. There's just a little bit of excess metal, like that bearing right there. It looked like it got pretty marred. Like that's all on the crank. So I mean, the crank doesn't look bad. It doesn't look marred on the crank. However, there is just that excess metal chilling on it. Number 2 didn't look as bad as number 1 on the inside or on the actual main cap. Like that scoring there is pretty bad. Let's see how this one looks. Grab my little pick and notice there's a little, I don't know if you can see that, but right there, there's a little piece of metal. Let's pop this up very gently. Do not damage the crank. All right, so there's a little bit of wear on that one there. Crank doesn't look like it has much damage. There's a little piece of metal floating right there, but there's no deep gouges. There's nothing crazy. Number 2 looked okay. So that's number 2. All right, I gotta spin the crank over, so I gotta grab the crank bolt out of here. This is the box of parts. Oh, wait, never mind. This is not the box of parts. This is. Took me a second, but I had to put the crank whatever thing back on, and then the hub piece so that this wouldn't thread all the way in. So I spun it over. Now 1 and 4 at the top. These are already semi-loose. So where's this? Grab these suckers. And then remove these, and we'll look at the other main caps. All right, number 4 is definitely on there a good amount. I'm just gonna give it a nice tap-a-roo. Hopefully that breaks the seal here. I can just pull it up. Ugh, damn. All right, I don't know what's happening with 4. I'm gonna attempt to take 1 off. See, that came off so easy. Number 4's got to be the issue, I think, dude. Because this one is, I mean, it's not bad, but if number 4 is not coming off, it's probably an issue or a reason why it's not coming off. I saw something crazy in the oil pickup. I'm sure you guys will see it in the video, but whatever that piece was, it's got to be from something in here, either this bearing or something in between. But I got to get this off. All right, number 1 bearing definitely looks a little marred. It's honestly not as bad. I mean, dude, they're all pretty marred, but this one's got some good like indentations to it, and this one you have that pretty solid line going across. So there's definitely some wear going on. But I think the problem lies in number 4, because this shit is not coming off. So I think the bearing fully exploded in itself and is stuck in there. All right, let me wipe my leg. Sick. Cap right there. It's slowly coming off right now. I'm just tapping it off with a hammer. Dude, this thing's so wobbly. I'm like, dude, it's almost off, but like it's... Oh, there's a lot of play in there. We are going to find our issue sooner or later. Dude, this one is fucking on there, dog. Decided to just grab a pry bar and another big flathead and just pop her up because it is not coming off very easy. Never mind, I wouldn't use this. I would just use this big flathead and try and pry it. Oh, dude, there's gotta be something. There's gotta be some bad line under this, dude. I just know for a fact. Dude, it's so tight. Ooh, the whole rod just moved up, or the whole piston just moved. All right, I've just slowly been tapping it out, but she's about to come off. Just taking my time and prying it up. I don't know why this one was such a pain to get off. All right, well, main cap number 4 is off. This piston moves up and down like crazy. It's at the top right now, and watch this movement. Oh shit. Oh shit, that's not good. Well, the bearing just fell out, or the whole. I mean, oof. Yeah. Look at this marring. See that right there? And then this little piece right here is like, it's an actual edge. I don't think that's supposed to be like that. I honestly cannot tell what happened, but this whole piston just dropped. It just dropped. Watch. Like I can just pick it back up. It sits in there. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. There's a bit of like that little random bit of metal, and then this is number 4. It looks like there's a bit of grooving going on the 4th on the crank. The rest look pretty smooth. They don't have any crazy marks. This one just has more marks than the rest, and I don't know. It seems okay to the touch, but definitely looks a bit worse. At the moment, I don't really know what happened. Definitely something blew up. Number 4 on the crank, it has a good amount of like lining and scarring. It looks a lot more scratched than the rest of these. Like these, look at number 1. Not as many scratching. It looks pretty clean. So this crank might have to get polished, because this doesn't look very good. I probably am gonna take all this to the machine shop and have them inspect everything, because I don't know if this will even be savable. So I'm gonna go drop this off and figure out what happened, as well as with this head. I'm pulling the cams right now. I just broke them all loose, all the cam caps, and I'm gonna remove them all. And then I'm gonna pull out the cam seals, pull off this back water neck, and yeah, I think I should be good. Pulled apart the upper intake manifold, or well, the intake manifold. I cleaned all the parts, made them all brand new. I'm gonna clean the oil pan, the trans, and then hopefully I can save this motor. But I hope you guys were able to figure out a thing or two with taking apart your motor. It's pretty simple with these Miata motors. I mean, it's literally just like Legos. So take your time, label everything, make sure that you're just tedious and clean while you work, and you'll be able to rebuild your own motor. It's really not hard. So I think you guys should go after it. If you guys have a Miata, definitely think about doing a refresh sooner or later. I wouldn't say like a full build, but like pulling the motor, doing some seals, maybe even doing a head gasket and timing belt. So I will catch you guys in the next video when I figure out what exactly happened to this. Appreciate you guys watching. I know this video was a long one, and hopefully you guys fucking are watching all the way through to this point. If you guys did, like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any questions, just put them in the comments below and I'll make sure to answer them. Thank you guys again for watching. Later.